All right, welcome back to episode 8 of Feeding Power Podcast. So today we have no special guest, but what we will be doing is recapping of the guests that we have. And Joanna and I are gonna talk about our productive week and what we're doing to bring you more content, more marketing ideas, and how we're doing with our business. So Joanna, let's get this started. We're excited. Let's go.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you, everyone, for coming back. Episode 8. We're excited to be here. We're finishing the week very strong. We had a very productive week, very busy. So we're going to just talk about what the real estate life is and me as a lender and how, the recap, like you said, for the people that we had here, the other guests. We're going to finish this season soon. So what do you think about the guests we had?
Yeah, so we've gotten stories from, what I love about bringing on guests to this podcast is that everybody has a different story, and there's at least one person out there that's watching this podcast that can relate. And that's the best part about it. Imagine that you can change somebody's life from telling your story, right? And it's funny that we were just talking about that the other day, and I know that we're working on telling people our story because we want to change people's life. And honestly, that's what I love about bringing guests on to Feeding Power Podcast, that we're able to share our stories and we're able to relate with them, even when it comes to the smallest things.
That's right. So everyone that was part of the season 1, which was Nick Raimondi as a hard money lender, shout out to him. We also had Ryan Riddle, who is the branch manager and also co-owner of Cliffco. We had James. We had Kevin. Lenders and agents. We had the handsome homebuyer, Charles. And we had the whole team elite.
Yep, we had the whole team elite. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. So now for this week, we're ending with a lot of content. We were shooting at the city yesterday. It was really hot. I had to wear my heels, so I'm still beat by that day. And then today we finished off at the JV office with the 10X training. So Wednesday, I hosted my first event. So it was a really good week. Team Elite just hit $5 million in production.
Under contract,
Under contract. Oh, okay. So tell us how that makes you feel.
Well, listen, especially, so a lot of people don't know, right? We started together in the business about 2 years ago. And then it's funny because we started alone and we didn't have anybody. It was just Joanna and I. And then one person tagged along, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing to the point where it's like, wow, right? So now it's crazy seeing that we're able to create a team and we're able to create something that we never, we had a vision, but we didn't think it was going to go this way. We just went along with it. We played, along with it.
The main goal was to change lives and also professionals too,
to
100%. Join the team, to be able to, them have an opportunity to escalate their business, to grow to a different level and give them the support we could. And they're killing it. They're doing great.
Yeah.
Bree just put 2 in contract, and we have Susie with co-listing two listings and just got 2 in contract. Just couldn't get any better.
Yeah, and Lisa just got 2 contracts too. So that's the best part about it, Everybody's doing something. And, the best part about it is that we can both, work together. We help, we help the team grow. We help you grow and you help us grow. So that's the beauty about working together, and especially in this business, the best part about it is you can help families, right? And that's what it is all about, helping families, changing people's life. I know you mentioned earlier in one of the videos that you were making that when you first bought that, when your parents first bought that house, it was so exciting, right? And that's what we love doing. We love seeing excitement in people. We love seeing people cry. I remember one of your clients was telling a testimony yesterday. She almost made me cry.
She made me cry. Yes. So and that's the main goal, to help the people, to help meet the American dream. And honestly, when I heard her testimony, she always been grateful. She has referred more than 3 referrals. Her friends, she has trusted me with her friends. But to hear her testimony and to hear her really having that happiness, and it came from the heart. When I saw her tears, I'm like, okay, so, a lot of you don't know much about me. Everyone's like, it's really behind Johanna's story. So she inspired me to share my story, which will be coming out soon, because I can relate. I can relate what it is, like you mentioned, when my parents purchased the first property. I can relate what it is for our parents coming, immigrating here and making it happen. So that means the world to me when I can make that happen for other people, for other, not just the borrowers that are signing contract, but the people that they come with, which is their kids, their family, brothers, whatever the case is. So it definitely touched my heart. Yeah. And I aim to keep on doing that for as many families as I can, and we'll continue to be focused on the mission. And I think we're on a good path.
Yeah, and I mean that's the best part about it too. Like if you think about it, right? Imagine that one person just told you how she felt. Imagine how many other people are probably in the same situation, and they were scared probably to tell you, like, oh, Joanna's gonna think I'm lying, or Joanna's gonna say that I'm already annoying, so I don't want to tell her how you feel. But now it's crazy that you're able to share those special moments with those clients, and that's what brings value to our job. Like that's what brings value to you and I, because yes, there's so much money to be made in this business. There's so much lessons, tears, sweat, right? But the best part is seeing your clients excited, happy, posting that picture on Facebook. Hey, Joanna just helped me, refinance my house. Joanna just helped me buy my house. Lewis was my agent. That's right. That's the best part about it, and that's what we love doing.
Just knowing the satisfaction that they're having, going to their home after they have the keys, we see their happiness, but then you can imagine what they feel when they actually turn that knob and they're like, wow, I'm home. And there have been many times I help families and friends. I have even helped friends get to that point and probably not even funded their loan for any X reasons. And at that point, they don't give me the shout out on social media. Yeah. But that's not what makes me happy. Yeah. I'm not there for the shout out on social media or for the people that don't even have it. I'm there because I know that I made a difference, that I changed their life in one way or another. Because like you mentioned, buying your own home or buying an investment property, all of those is great. But when it's the first time you get something you really work so hard for, it's priceless.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like you remember, like everybody has a story, right? Because like there's people that don't have the funds for it. There's people that don't have the credit. And something that I remember, during this past week of working with our content creation, was coming up with a video of why we don't work with perfect clients. There is perfect clients, but most of our clients always need that extra tip. Like, hey, my credit's not great, or maybe I don't have enough money, or maybe I didn't report as much money on my tax returns, right? So, that's the best part, when we're able to guide the person. And that's what makes Joanna and I different in this industry, that we're able to guide our buyers, our sellers. Joanna is able to guide the people who's looking to refinance, because we give them tips. We're not, if we can't get the deal, we're not going to make it a deal. We want to help you, and that's what we're generally here for. So Joanna, let's recap a little bit about the speakers, what they kind of talked about. So like that, we have some, for the people who didn't watch the first few episodes, they can go back and watch.
Okay, so they definitely have to go back and watch.
Yep,
so
they're going to have to go back and watch.
So with Nick Raimondi, was he our first guest?
Yes, Nick Raimondi was our first guest.
Okay,
yes.
So with the private, the hard money, then I think what I learned is that we thought it was such a hard process. Yeah. And as we all know, you just need a very small percentage to start. And to get qualified, all you really need is an LLC. Yep. So
what I learned was, if a hata guy can get the loan, anyone can pretty much. So like you said, all you need is an LLC. It's an opportunity. It's leverage for anyone looking to grow. I think, having Nick on the episode made a difference, especially for people looking to invest or learning about the investment world, because, it is something that is interesting, but you have to have the right tools in order for you to grow. So then on the second episode, we had Ryan Riddle. So we know.
No, you skipped the Team Elite.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He skipped his own team. The other episode, now know Team Elite. Follow him.
Team Elite, you're number one for me always. Don't send Joanna more deals.
So for Team Elite, it was actually a really good episode, because we had diversity when it comes to what the culture was, how they manage their business. We had students. We had Lisa, as a chef, as an assistant and as a chef, also who's killing it right now. She's handling both perfectly well. She has 2 in contract, and at the same time, she's killing it clearing files. Yeah. I mean, she's literally Batman. So shout out to Lisa Campos. And we had Susie being a mom.
Yep.
Like we had Charles Day. Like he's like, how do those people that have a family do it? Well, she's one of them. She's a super mom.
Yep.
We have Bree, who she switched from one field to the other, and she just implied all the skills and made it like, I mean, she's honestly, I tell her, if I can have more agents like you when they start off, this
would be powerful.
World.
Yeah.
Yes, this will be a perfect world because she's in a level as if she'd been in the business for like 10 years.
100%. You know? But you know what's good too though, like Brienne, she has that hospitality business, so it is like she's been in the business for 10 years because she already built like that customer service, that her confidence, it's there, right? Yeah. So now it's just like putting a little bit more of the real estate side. The way she was
able to put them together. Because, one, okay, she has that behind her, but the fact that she was able to imply that professionalism on it and be able to understand.
It's rare.
It's correct. Rare. And understand how real estate works, how getting the buyer into contract works in the best way. Like, she surprises me with things that she comes up with when I have to tell someone I've been in the business for 3 years, this is how it works.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that they've been in the business.
And I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all. But all I'm saying is that if we can have people start off the way Bree starts, 100%, it will be
100%.
a wonderful world. But shout out to Bree. Bree, you're killing it out there. And it's a pleasure to work with you. So then we had Santos couldn't make it, but he had an emergency, but he's doing good. He's always supporting the team as well, and he also has his contracts going. And Rita, who is doing school, being a student, and at the same time, she had her first closing this year, correct?
Yes. It was actually like December.
So as soon as she was done with school, she was like, boom, let me go get my check.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much,
yes. And she has such a good style for fashion. I think it's like the perfect thing to do.
Yeah, it brings it out, especially in the real estate. Like, it's like, it's very good. Like, everybody has like their own little like difference, right? Like, Santos is good with like certain people. Rita's good with like the fashion. Brienne, she just brings her like the hospitality brings out the best part of her. And then Lisa, she's just like. Lisa's just too nice. Lisa's just like.
So we had an event. I had this event, a private event on Wednesday, and at the end of the event, I see her making coffees. And I was like, "Are you really gonna make coffees for each one of them?" And Lisa's like, "Joe, I just want them to be happy." I mean, she just couldn't be any nicer. I really love it. I love it.
We love Lisa. Yeah, like that's a good thing about having strong people, on the team. Rita, we said Lisa, they all have the same qualities, and that's what makes like the team perfect, and the way that we do our business, because we're able to do so much. And then we also have Susie, right? Susie has like this great charisma, right? Where even a lot of people will not do business with us, like like that, but she'll make it like happy. I don't know. Like, she just has this one thing who, even if it's not related to real estate, she'll just be like, oh, okay, yeah. We're here to help you. This is actually
the person that will literally sell you anything just because of her charisma. Yeah. It's just natural. She's not trying. As soon as she walks in the room, there's a big smile, and then she's ready to like talk about anything and everything. So I think the Team Elite definitely has the vision and the foundation of actually helping the community. Yeah, and that's what makes Team Elite, and I congratulate you. I give you credit for, it's not easy. Again, everyone that says I'm a team leader, that's one title, but the responsibility is something else, and you're doing great at it.
Yeah, and believe it or not, like you mentioned earlier, Team Elite just hit $5 million under contract within the last 2 weeks. Right now, we're looking to be the #1 team on Long Island. We are not #1 at the moment, but we will be in the next 6 months. We are the fastest growing. We are actually the team with the youngest agents at the moment as well. So I feel proud about that, because no other team has 18, 19, 20-year-old agents who are actually killing it. Because there's other agents that are 18, 20, but they're not doing anything, And that's the best part about Team Elite, because I was able to create this around people like me, who are like-minded, and we're able to think outside the box and create something. And I know that you also started creating your team. You have Lisa, and which is also on my team, which is pretty much the same thing, and she helps you with so much, you know.
Absolutely, yes. So my team comes from the bank that I'm with, you know, to the support, to know where I can go to, like, scream about something and like complain about something. And a lot of people tell me, how come you don't build your own team of actual lenders? Well, the only reason I don't do that yet is because I first want to have that revolving door where if I'm 2 hours away from my computer, I'm not going to come back to 94 emails.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like yesterday.
Like yesterday, you know, every time I will take care of every phone call, give it to you, you give it to me back in an hour. I had like 17 new missed calls. So once I'm able to make that work and delegate that and be able to show the way to someone clear path, then I'll start bringing people in, because I think it's very important for team leaders to actually know their way and then lead someone, instead of trying to go together and then you're both hitting the walls and like no one's really guiding anyone. So that's really the main reason, because I just don't want to promote like, come here, make money, deals closed. I want you to change your life completely.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, and I think that's why you and I, like, we think so much alike, right? That we're able to like create this, but we, you know, like on my team, I have people that think like me, right? Because I don't want to work with
not to cut
agents,
you off,
right?
but remember at the beginning, like you said, it was just me and you. How many times you started about 6 months before me, and those 6 months plus the time we spent together working mutually, how many times you didn't like hit yourself in the wall? Like you would call me at 1 a.m. like, listen, this happened, that happened. But what would have happened if 2 months in you would have started building a team? It would have not worked.
Oh no, 100%.
There would be no foundation. You built that, and then you put the teams.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, though, because like a lot of people just think it's like, oh, get a license and let, you know, oh my God, I'm gonna close 100 deals, right? But for me, it was like learning the ins and out, and then once I realized like, okay, this is what it is, then I was able to structure it to make, you know, I wanted to make so much like about the team, right? But I wasn't, honestly, I didn't even know I wanted a team. Like, I didn't even know that I was going to have a team at one point. Like, I remember it was just you and I. We had a conversation. We said, Joanna, like, you have to become a lender. I'm going to become an agent. Like, this is what we're going to do. And, you know, time came. And unfortunately, like I mentioned in previous podcasts, I got fired. We were supposed to start at the same time. And, you know, I started, like she said, 6 months earlier. But that kind of pushed me to, you know, do my own thing. My first month in real estate, I had 3 deals under contract, but it didn't take about 3 months to close. So imagine me making no money for 3 months.
It was meant to be for you to start, because that way you tried other lenders.
Yeah.
And that way people can't say they work together because they're friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Because one thing is friendship and another thing is business. And one thing a lot of people don't know, that Luis and I don't even hang out at work.
We really don't.
We literally know nothing about each other's personal life to a certain extent. And you won't see us hanging out unless the most we do hang out is like at a networking event.
Yeah.
Like, all right. And, you know, we'll have a drink, or sometimes we'll be like, no, this one we're just going to skip and we're going to go get people. But so again, that goes to one thing is friendship and another thing is business. And if I wouldn't be adding value to his team and vice versa, then we wouldn't be working together. Yeah. So I think those 6 months helped you work with other lenders and be like, 100%. Right? And what happened was that it wasn't my experience that got you in. It was the work ethic and the work commitment that I had towards what we were doing.
Yeah, and I mean, 100%. Like a lot of, you know, there is other lenders. I'm not going to mention name here, you know, but like, they were just not it. Like, you know, it's like they're just doing it because of the money. They're not focused on the mission. They're focused on, oh, I'm going to make this amount. And that wasn't my goal. My goal was not to go after my people's money or go after, you know, who closes the quickest deals. Like, you know, so that's when you came in, it was just like, damn, this is who I want to work with, because I didn't find, like, those 6 months, I was jumping around. And, you know, there was times where, like, deals were, you know, dead. You know, people were losing their down payment, but it wasn't because of me. It was because of the lenders that, you know, were getting the deal done, and they wouldn't even answer the phone on a Monday at 2:00.
A team is very, very important. I'm actually going through a sour situation right now, and you heard me this morning, and it's like the buyer's attorney is going against me. In something like, you know, we were trying to close prior to contract. That's what I do. Yeah. You and I have closed almost every deal prior to contract.
100%.
So then this deal, they wanted to close on contract date. But we were like, that's too far away. Why don't we close now? she's here attacking me. Look at the contract, and I'm like, I'm looking at it. What's the problem? They're clear to close. We can go.
I thought that's the whole point of real estate, closing before.
So then the buyer, she's like, yeah, I want to close right away. So I'm like, this is what happens now. If the attorney and I would be on hand to hand, we would both be focused on actually getting
the deal done.
Best interest to our client. However, now I'm here like going back and forth in front of title company. It's embarrassing. It's, again, a team, working in team is very important.
Yeah, 100%.
Again, like you said, like if deals are falling off, you're going to look bad. And
and that's the beauty about this business, because I learned something from you, which was we choose who we work with, and not we work with people who want to work with us, because that you can get burned like that, and that's how a lot of people get burned in this business, right? Where you trust certain attorneys, real estate loan officers, real estate agents, and you kind of like trust them, but sometimes they could throw the ball, or they throw you under the bus, and they burn you, and it's done, and they kill that relationship, and then it doesn't make you look like you're a team anymore. And then they stop dropping the ball. Now the buyer doesn't trust you as a lender. They don't trust their agent as a lender. They don't trust their attorney. So, that's why it's important for us, Joanna and I, that we were able to build this relationship, and that we're able to help, because we have attorneys that we work with. We have, our inspectors that we work with. We have all these tools, and we trust them. We're able to make sure that we're not going to drop the ball. And if we do drop the ball, we're on top of it. We'll pick it up, right away, and we're going to fix it, and we're going to make sure that we still get to the closing table.
That's right. So it's all what I look into people that I work with is always their integrity, and that's going to show one way or another, either at the beginning of the deal or at the end of the deal. Some people will play it like perfect at the beginning, and at the end it's like boom, they'll let you down. And in a sense, again, in integrity, where they're not working at the best interest as you are. And that leads to our third guest, which it says the team of integrity, and then we asked
Mr. Ryan Riddle.
That's right. And with him, I learned that even though you have responsibilities, he has a family. He's going for his third baby.
Okay.
And he has so much going on, and he still can make it happen. He still, he said I was never going to beat him to the office. You've been my witness.
I beat you too, Ryan, because I was there.
So I beat him to the office, first in, last one out. But again, like, I don't go home to 3 kids or a family. He still goes home, makes it happen as a father, as a husband, and that's so much respect to him. So that's the biggest thing I took from what he was saying, and the fact that he started with no limitations, because now it's been 3 years in, and he's doing almost everything on the table. Like, he's taking care of.
Well, he's doing more than anybody's done in the business for 5-6 years.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, and this past month that I actually had the pleasure to work with him, he shows that he has good integrity. He has good intentions. He has, he works from his heart, where he's not going to come and sell you something with emotions and not commit to it. 100%. If he's going to sell you something, he's going to do it with no emotions, like, no, get this done and I'll do this and that. But if he's going to say, no, I'm going to help you on this, I'm going to help you on that, he does it. And that, to me, I always give respect to people that do that.
Yeah, for me, my biggest takeaway, and Ryan knows this, I appreciate it a lot. So I met Ryan before you did. But, with him, it was just like, hey, I want to help you grow your team. But it was like, how do you say it? Like, I didn't ask him for help, and, he didn't say, Louis, you got to send me 10 deals and I'll give you help. Like, he just genuinely wanted, to help me. And I was like, you kind of feel weird, because, it's fine. It's hard to find someone who says, Johanna, let me grab your hand and walk you through a process, right? So for me, it was kind of weird, knowing like, that Ryan wanted to genuinely help my team grow. And, lately the team loves the training. They've been taking everything that they learned from the training, to double the business. And that's why we, look at where we are in like less than 2 months, right? Yeah. And then the best part about it is that, so Miss, Danny, right? Danny Shack, he told me something the other day. It's like, when people add value to you, then you start having this debt, which is like,
you feel committed.
Yeah, you feel committed, and then you're like, damn, I owe that person now, right? Correct. So that's how I felt with Ryan, and I'm like, damn, what are we gonna give him? So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make an introduction to Joanna, and then it just went from there.
Yeah. I mean, again, so as a agent, everyone's gonna try to recruit you. As a lender, if they see that you're making a little dent, or a big dent, whatever the case is, they're gonna try to recruit 100%. You. And this happened to me, all the time. But again, you can sense when someone has really good intentions. Where I came from, they had perfect intentions. Mm-hmm. You were there. I love the people 100%. I worked with, and that's what I will always say. Loved where I started. Yeah. Love the people that gave me the opportunity. Like literally love them. Like to this point, we still text and get along and everything. But at the end of the day, I have to seek for growth, and sometimes those limitations are not within the people that are working, but it probably in different sense. Like maybe the company has limitations, whatever the case is. So you need to be wise if you're gonna make a change. If you're gonna leave, like this environment that you feel comfortable, that you love the people, to something that it's gonna help you grow. But what if you're not close to those kind of people?
100%.
What if yes, this new company can give me everything, but what if the people that work there are no good, no good, and they cannot give you that support emotionally, and that support. And emotionally, I mean, when it's like, okay, you can do this, I believe in you, let's go, here it is, here's what we're going to plan, and let's execute. So, again, that's the end.
I agree with you. I mean, especially, and I'm going to bring this up, when I was at my previous company, you know this better than anybody else does, right? Where we were like, I wanted to make a change for so long, but I was just like, do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? And I would be like, I'm out. And I'm like, no, I'm staying. It's like that tug of war where it's like, okay, I'm about to win. And then you're like, nope, you're going back to the other side. Yep. So, I love the people that I used to work with, but it's just like you said, it's not them. It's just us. Like, we want to be better, and that's what we're doing. We're looking to be better, grow better people around us.
Because as an agent, you're going to be the same agent.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're at this company, that company, some people change, and that's what I was afraid of, being that person changing companies. I'm like, I don't want to be changing companies, because at the end of the day, it's the lender. It's not going to be this bank or that bank. It's who I am as a lender.
Correct.
But then your business and your brand, then who's going to give you that support on your business and the brand, and that comes within the company itself. Yeah. So I think that's the difference, because a lot of people would say, well, if you're a good agent, you're a good agent anywhere. Yes, but if you're seeking for some kind of brand growth and some business growth with the people around you, then you have to look out for that too.
Yeah. So that's what I looked at when I, made the change to the company where I'm at now, which is Signature, right? So I wanted growth, right? But I also wanted a company that would train my team, that would take my team to the next level. And that's why I decided to move to Signature, because they believed in me from the beginning without even knowing me. They said, Louis, we want to help you grow. You're going to grow here. We're going to give you all the tools, right? So, yes, like you mentioned, we could be at Signature today and, move to a different company. And, as long as my team learns and does the business the right way, that's not going to change, right? Correct. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that, they're working. Because if they're not working or they're not taking all the advantage of the tools, it doesn't matter that you're at this company or it's not going to change who you are.
You just have to have the right attitude to everything you do. Yeah. And speaking of attitude, the right attitude, then we had Kevin, Iglesias, and James. And my favorite part was Kevin's energy. Mm-hmm. Like, I came in, like, always, like, why do we do this on a Friday when we're completely burnt out from the week? But this guy's, like, so full of energy that I'm awake the whole thing.
It's like he had 3 Red Bulls, right?
All of a sudden, I feel like I had 3 espresso shots. And and that's the thing. He's excited. He's passionate. And that's what I learned from him. He's, like, full of energy. You guys couldn't even keep quiet. Every time I spoke, you guys were, like, laughing.
Yeah, you and James were just, like... Okay.
Listen, we deal with all your bullshit the whole week, so we're like done. You guys.
That's $100 fine right there.
Oh yeah, that's right. But that's what that was my favorite part, really, from Kevin. It was his energy. His you can tell he loves what he do and what he does, and the same with James. James. He's like, no, I actually have my bachelor's on this. Like, this is what I want. This is what I've done. And, and you can see it.
Yeah, 100%.
You can see it, that they love what they do. Exactly. And that makes them also a great team.
And, like you and I did a deal with Kevin with one of our buyers, and that's the best part is, like, we're bringing guests that we've done business with.
Correct.
Guests that, even though maybe we haven't done business, we're planning to do further business with these people, and we just get to know them, right? Because in the real estate deals, like, you really don't get to know the person, like, how they are or what makes them different. It's more about, like, okay, is my loan ready to go, or like, what's going on? Did you order appraisal? But now, like, sitting here, then you kind of get to know the person, like, and that's what I like about Kevin, where he's, like you said, he's full of energy. And that energy transmits to you. It's that's like, right. It's like, oh shoot, like, even if you're having a bad day,
man,
it's like, okay,
I was like screaming at him, but I wasn't literally trying to scream at him. It was like the energy.
Yeah. So, and that's the best part, like, and then James, he also being so young, 22, and a loan officer starting at 18, it's just motivation, especially how many other people are probably going through finishing high school right now and deciding, what am I gonna do, right? What am I gonna do in the next 4 years of my life? And for me, that's something that it hits me, because, like, I was in that position at one point in my life where I didn't know what I wanted to do,
That's right. And the knowledge, again, like James said, knowledge is very important. I think as a lender, it is really, really important that you're knowledgeable in your field. Not that I'm a lender, let me show everyone I'm a lender. You have to, because that provides more options.
Yeah.
And better options for your borrowers, because I see a lot of lenders that, they're not constantly evolving to the guidelines or whatever the case is.
They're not
and
informed.
This is something that James said, and I was like, I 100% relate, because where I came from, the main thing I focused on was the knowledge, understanding, getting, everything to, it's, such an important part, and the most important part, like, for this whole transition, that now that I moved here and I had to adapt to a new system and adapt to a new way of doing things, then I will literally come in like, no, per guidelines, and I'll go to the HUD like, look, I know how this works. I know how this deal is going to work, and I'm going to make it work this way. Oh, no, but we never done it that way. But look, it's going to work.
We're going to make it work.
Oh, Joe, we got a CTC on this. And that's because of the knowledge, And if you don't have that knowledge, you're going to play it safe with your clients in a sense where they're going to be losing all the time.
Yeah, and it doesn't just go to lending. It also is on the real estate side, right? Because there's so many ways to put a deal together. There's so many ways to, make things happen, right? And let's say if I just do it one way, the deal might not work that way. And we have to know certain regulations, certain, ways that we can write up contracts, right? So, and especially like you and I, like, we've done some stuff where people will be like, no, you can't do that. Who says you can't do that? Like, it's a legal contract. We're allowed to do that. And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
That's right.
And that's the best part about it, that we're able to, like, help our clients and, just give them, this is like the tools that we have, right?
That's right.
And being so knowledgeable is the best part about it, because we can make pretty much any deal happen.
Correct. And speaking of knowledge, that also comes hand to hand with our last guest, which was the handsome home buyer. Shout out to him. Such a busy man, and he still made time to come to the podcast. So thank you so much. And what I took from it, the same thing. He said he prepared for 4 years. Mm-hmm. He'd been doing this for 10 years because 4 of those years he'd been preparing, and that allowed him to do as much as he has done, like 400 property. He owns 100, but it comes from the preparation of the knowledge of he was doing.
100%.
And I think this is a very important key, where it comes where people said, success doesn't happen overnight, because you've been preparing so much. Then when the opportunity hits, that's when the success comes. Mm-hmm. So for this side, it's like, when I first started, I started closing deals, and I started getting, the pipe started like going huge, but it wasn't like, okay, she came in on the first day, she don't know what a mortgage is.
Yeah.
We already had experience with the short sales, with the foreclosures, with the modifications where we came from. But the biggest thing I had was that I was preparing sales ever since I was a young kid.
Yeah, and
ever since like 14.
That's the best.
So they didn't know that this didn't come from like, okay, she's coming in here and she wants to do this. No, I was preparing sales. I had that under my sleeve, and I used those skills to come and do some service that people needed, a service that needed, you just have to find a problem and get the solution. So when it comes to like sitting down, and I'll tell them, no, if they sit with me, it's a closed deal.
Yeah.
They come to me, it's a closed deal. So, but that's because I the skills that I was preparing
for
with
so long.
Yeah. So now you get the opportunity, and people are like, oh, look, she's just making it happen because 100%. Either, like I mentioned, a lot of times, like because you're a girl, because
or just because, like, let's say a lot of people like, oh, because like you said, a girl, or maybe just because she looks good, Correct. So like a lot of people try, like they think, oh yeah, and I feel I understand where you're coming from, because I've had the same situation.
But you tell me, you have a pretty person coming in, and then they want to sell you something so important, like your mortgage. But if they don't know what they're
buying it.
Correct. And there's people that actually go to other people, other professionals, so they know if exactly. If you have the knowledge. Again, preparation is everything.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's why like it's that topic is so important, because like a lot of people think like with Charles, I was able to relate because I also do flips and I also do investments, Correct. Right? So a lot of people, especially because I am young, a lot of people say, oh, it's his dad's money, or, it's something his parents had to give him, or it's just it's not him. No, it's not him. Like, they don't believe it's me, right?
Yes.
But then when they see, like, all the things I'm doing, like, they're like, nah, it's still not him, And that's where I'm able to, like, show people, like, no, this is what I've been able to do. And now, like, like I'm able to produce work for my father.
Correct.
Like, I'm able to produce work for my family. Because
you've been preparing as well since like a very young age.
I've been doing pretty much sales since I was 15, right? And aside from that, my dad always taught me to work since I was 7. Every night I would get my clothes ready by 7 o'clock in the morning. Every summer day, it was put those jeans on, put those work boots on. Even if I didn't go do anything at the job, it was just that accountability. Like, okay, wake up, go to work. Wake up, go to work. And I'm thankful for my parents for showing me that. Because now I'm able to, like, put that into my real life.
Right, yeah.
And it made it so much easier,
That's right. So again, preparation is very important. Actually, the testimony yesterday, what she said is, she was like, I met Johanna because she was hired for for photography.
Yeah.
That was my previous business. So so if I was able to give them a good impression and a good memory with something else, and then they still trust me with something more important.
Yeah.
Again, it's never gonna be because you look nice or this and that. It's because of what you bring to the table.
And we're dealing with the person's biggest purchase of their life.
Correct.
Right.
And also with the team, like, I had Elizabeth. She stayed. She stayed because she grew so fast in the industry. I had Elizabeth and I had Lisa, and they were like, how come they're so loyal to you? How come they're, they do this and they do that, and the case is, and Lisa followed you, and you do great, and she does great. Again, it didn't happen that I met someone who's like, oh, it worked for me. I was manager for like 7 years at a retail store that I know how to treat people.
Yeah.
And if I want them to work good for me, then I'm going to be of good faith for them too.
100%.
I'm also going to treat
100%.
them with respect. But it's not like, oh yeah, Joe, that's her friend. No. And then people are like, oh yeah, like they're so nice to you.
Oh yeah, Lisa's
you
just there
got
because
blessed.
Exactly.
You just got lucky.
Yeah,
but if I wouldn't be a good leader for Lisa or Elizabeth, they won't follow.
And that's the thing,
they will
too.
walk away when they have
100%.
the opportunity.
And that's the best part about working with us, right? Because we're able to teach people how to do business, but we're able also to have that friendship, right? Where it's like you and Lisa are not even she's not even your assistant. It's like, I don't even know. Like, sometimes I go in there and you guys are just like, it looks like you guys are chilling, but you guys are actually just doing work.
What time do you go in there that we look like we're chilling?
6 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
that's like a 9. I
think we respect each other's essence.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
For example, I know when Lisa is wearing dark colors, I'll leave her alone. That's Batman right there, and Batman.
I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me that? Now I know.
You too.
Now
all
I know.
You need to do with Lisa is feed her.
Okay,
and she'll be happy with food.
Lisa, don't wear dark clothes.
But that's how it is with Elizabeth when she will come in, and depending how her hair was tied up, I already knew if she ran from her house and had a tough morning. And again, this doesn't come from and that's one thing that I see so much with the team leaders. It's like, and this goes into the mortgage and everything. It's like, okay, you got the title, but what are you adding value besides saying, come here, let's make money?
Yeah.
Anyone can say, come here, let's make money. What are you giving different to these people? Like you said, Lisa, it's like only to my clients and to my referral partners, I present her as my assistant, but I don't see her as my assistant. I see her equally as, like, without her, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
Where, like you said, are you coming in here and sometimes we need to take a break?
Yeah.
we'll together, both of us, go for a walk around the building, go back, and I'm like, do we need?
Yeah, you guys just look like like that one friend in school, like that friendship where you guys were like just like best friends, and you guys were like just like do everything together. Yeah, and that's what.
Listen, Lisa would be like, oh, this, and I was like, oh, I got the perfect solution. We're gonna save it. Boom, the deal gets saved. But then I'm like, so how do you move this file to operation? She's like, I got you, and we have to like. Again, I just love working in that sense.
Yeah.
To be able to have people that also understand what you're doing and also understand where we're heading to with the whole vision.
Yeah, and that's the best part about this whole, like, the real estate, the lending, this podcast. We're able to just, add so much value to everybody, feed so much power to everybody, right? Yes. And that's, like, dude, we're just killing it. And everybody's going to, everybody's gonna know who Joanna is. They're gonna say, "Damn, I remember her telling her story, and now look where she is in a couple, 6 months, 7 months, right?" I know your team is killing it. I think you guys just did like what 9 deals just the last month, your first month.
So through the transition, it was hectic. It was crazy, 100%. And that's one of the big reasons I did the event too, the private events, because all the people I worked with was more than kind enough to be patient with me, and they're like, okay, you're gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen. Everything, and they trusted me, and it worked. Everything happened. So the transition for this past month was very tough because we had to move the files over. We have to adopt a new system, a new way of doing things, and even then, we put right now we're gonna be a month in, and we have 9 deals disclosed.
Amazing.
Ready, in ready contract, refis, everything. 9 deals in less than 1 month.
Awesome. That's crazy. Yeah.
So it's like, to us, it's like, all right, if you work hard, you're gonna succeed.
Yeah, that's what it's all about too, and that's what I love working with you and your team. It's about ethic, right? Work ethic. It's about you and your team, and that's how I view my team. It's just like about getting it done, doing the right thing, helping the right people, and just like everybody on this podcast we've had, they believe in the same mind. They have the same mindset. They have the same goals, and we hope that we're adding power to everyone, and that they're taking all these powerful people's advices to become that person they want to be.
Correct. And just to conclude with what we're saying with the handsome home buyer, so I think again, preparation is key. If not, you're going to come into this field and you're going to get disappointed when you don't see results because you're not prepared. And that's and like you said, he would not do as much as he did if he wasn't prepared. Yep. So my advice to everyone that's coming into the industry, in either as a lender, as an agent, is prepare yourself. Maybe coming into, if you're going to start the business, shadow someone. Don't get desperate. Know that you're not going to make money the first 3 months, 4 months, but you're going to prepare yourself. You're going to get all the knowledge. So when you go and throw yourself in the field,
you're ready to go.
You're ready to go, and not go like immediately trying to make money.
Yeah.
Because that's how people get disappointed. They go in, no experience, no nothing, and then they're like, boom, and they're like, no, this didn't happen. Oh, that one died. This one didn't work. Well, look at it. Why? There was no experience. But if you keep going and keep going, 7 months from now, you're gonna have results.
Yeah, they burn. That's what happens. So they burn themselves, and it's just you work all these 7 hours, 7 days. 24 hours, and then you have no results because you work so hard that you don't even know what you're doing. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the right people around you, and then what happens is you start burning bridges too, because the people you build, as for me as a new agent when I came in, my goal was to build relationships, right? So there's a lot of agents I can name right now, and I built this relationship with them where I'm like, yo, what's going on with this property? They're like, dude, you already know you have the deal. Just send an offer that's reasonable, and we'll take it. Correct. But that's what we look to do, like build relationship with all these agents, build relationships with people who want to work with us. And that's what I would say to every agent. Don't burn yourself. Don't expect to come making millions of dollars the first 3-4 months of this business. And Joanna, I think we kind of went over the time on this episode.
That's because it was really powerful people that came into this season. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching episode 8. And I hope again that this podcast does bring power, and it feeds you knowledge as well, and that we can make a difference in one way or another for your business.